Hi guys, this is Lars. I'm doing an extra video for the Day 12 blog. We're going to have a look at a bit of software called System Tracker, which is an open source project that's being managed by James Dudek, who I hope I've pronounced his surname right there. System Tracker is a tool that allows you to record and review data from your aquaponics system. So let's take a look at some of the features that are available in the Alpha 1 version of the software. So as you can see, I've already created a project to muck around with, so we're going to go through creating a new project. You click New Project, you give it a title and a description. And you pick a place where the data is going to be stored. I just use the default location here, because I'm just mucking around to see how it works. And then in this table here, you can select which values you want to store in the database. So I'm going through and adding in, I just want to use pH, temperature and nitrate. So the next window in the new project wizard lets you create which graphs you're going to want to view. I am adding a new graph, calling it temperature. And then I'm selecting which values I want to track on. Now I'm interested to see how pH and temperature are related, so I'm going to track both of those. So I apply red to the temperature and blue colour to the pH. Now I'm not actually going to be using real data, I'm just going to be plugging stuff in to see how it works, but in a real world application this is what I'd be doing. Okay, so we now have a view which shows us our graph, and I want to add some new data. So if you click the New Data Entry button, this takes you to a screen where you can add in one record of data. Now at the moment all of the data points are stored at the same time, so if you want to only record temperature, it appears to put a 0 in for nitrate and pH. So maybe in future it could be improved a bit if you could just record one thing at a time, because I don't generally do all of my readings at the same time. So I go through and I add in some readings to just test out the graphing system, and you can see we've got some points on the graph. At the moment the scaling of the graph doesn't seem to work quite how I was expecting it to, and I've had a chat with James about that, and he's looking into it in the next version. So as you can see, we've got some data points on the graph. So in this next section of video, which I'm probably going to speed up a little bit, I'm just going through clicking all the buttons to see what they do. You can see me having a look at the graph time scale thing up the top there. The refresh on that doesn't seem to work quite as expected. The workaround I found for that is you have to switch over to the text mode view, which is currently not implemented, and then you have to switch back to the graph mode view, and then when you click on a graph it then refreshes, which is a little bit odd. So James is also looking into that one as well. The text mode view is going to show like a list of all of the data added. I don't think that's currently implemented, and you can see I'm just adding loads of new data points in there to see what happens. So next up I went and had a look at how the data is recorded. It's stored in an XML file, as you can see here, and there's a data list reading for each variable. So this does indicate that you can store individual variables instead of storing all three or however many data sets you have at the same time, which was a limitation I think might need fixing. The data type is stored in an enum somewhere in the program, and when I actually created the system, you can see the one I've got highlighted here, I had set that as a pH type reading, so I was trying to record my nitrate as a pH value. So I went in and manually edited the file to change that to type 129, and that now works as a pH reading. So I'm just going through here, mucking around, fixing some files to get rid of the 0 that was on the graph. So I'm now looking at the other data file, which is also XML. It's projectname.apv. This records this stores the configuration for the graphs, and you can see here I've got one graph with a GUID, name, temperature, and the values that I want. Okay guys, thanks very much for watching. System Tracker is a piece of software I'm going to keep an eye on. Their Git repo is on GitHub. I'll put a link in the description so you can check out the code and have a look yourself. I've got a few ideas for things I'd want to do with it. Particularly adding like a log function, like a logbook. So I can say today I did this, I did that, I planted these plants. I think that would be quite useful for me. Yeah. So there's also a Facebook group for the project. I'll put a link in the description with that. And I'd love to know what everybody thinks about it. If you have any ideas of things you want to add or feature requests, we'd love to hear them. Thanks very much. I'm Lars, and thanks for watching.